I teamed up with 17 artists, and together we all drew Invincible. If you're watching this video, you've probably already seen Invincible Season 3.
Are you
And
sure?
if not, stop rewatching that anime that you've already seen 3 times. And please go watch Invincible. Alright, that's the last time I'm going to do it. Otherwise,
Are
I'm
you
going to have
sure?
to edit every time I say it. Anyways, we're going to go through each artist's drawing, and then together we're going to look at the final image. So wait till the end for that. Please don't skip. I need the audience retention. Super huge thanks to all the artists for being a part of this project. And if you're an artist and you want to be a part of the next collab, just leave a comment down below or message me on Instagram. I'm always looking for more artists to work with. So the first artist we have is Marsh or Marshall. He drew the Viltrumite Invincible. Marsh, I really like what you did here with the rendering. This line work, it's like not too thin, not super thick either. It's like right in the middle. Also like what you did with the hands here. That pose is really nice. The shape of the hands are really cool. The fingers especially. So great job with that. I like the stylized anatomy. It's got a great mustache. And the shapes in the hair I really like. They almost look kind of like flames, like small flames, and I really like that. Great job overall. Thanks for being a part of the project again. Marsh was also part of my last collab. It was a Spider-Verse collab. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. Check out Marsh's page as well. He makes some great stuff, and we've already collaborated together. The next artist we have is JP Illustrator,
Are you
or
sure?
JP Illustrate. The next artist we have is Jackson. He's an illustrator and animator. Definitely check out his animations on Instagram. They're really good. Highly recommend them. And he drew the long-haired Invincible. I forgot the names of these guys. I've been a big fan of Jackson's style for a while, so I really like the way he sort of stylized the anatomy here. This expression as well, he looks very unbothered compared to a lot of the other characters in the scene who look a bit more intense. Just makes him stand out more. There's a lot more character, you know. I love the line work, love the shading. Looks very similar to the Invincible style, so I can appreciate that. Me and Jackson have known each other for a little while now, and I already know that he makes great stuff. This is no shocker to me. Thanks again, Jackson, for being part of the project. The first time I saw your work, I was like, I need to get this guy on the next collab, so I'm glad you're able to make it. Okay, the next artist we have is Black Lotus. We met at Baltimore Comic Con a while back, and I actually own a print of Invincible versus Conquest from him, and it's hanging up on my wall. It's one of my favorite pieces up there. As soon as I saw his work, I knew that I wanted to have him on the collab. I knew that this was the perfect collab to have him on, actually. The thing that stood out to me when I first saw his work, and it's apparent here as well, is just the style. It looks like it's got a real traditional touch to it, but in a good way. The expression is just like that's top tier. That's 10 out of 10. I love the sort of like maniacal look in his face, and those eyes are gonna give me nightmares. Blood splatters. I think this is the only character. I might be wrong, but this is the only character drawn in this collab that actually has blood on him. So thank you for that. Love how you interpreted the pose as well. You added 2 new additions to the pose. Not gonna say what those are. Love the stylized anatomy. Love the pose. Love the way you did the hair. And that expression is just, like I said, nightmares. Yeah, really appreciate that. And I'm just glad that I was able to get you on the project. Definitely check out Black Lotus on Instagram. So the next artist we have is Hungry Moss, or Jenny. Also met them at Comic Con. It's her and her sister. They do amazing work. Please check out both of their pages. So she has drawn Sport Invincible. That's the name. Okay, Sport Invincible, a favorite of mine, just for the design. Love what you've done with the pose. Love that you've interpreted it in your own way. Love the sort of stylization and the fact that he has almost this like red tint to him. I think that when I'm doing collabs like these, especially given the fact that these characters are all kind of from a different universe, I appreciate when an artist can put their individual touch on their piece. Sometimes it might not 100% make sense to somebody else, but it sort of just exaggerates that feeling of each character coming from a different universe. I love the hair shape that he has and the sort of texturing on the lighting. I really like the effect it gives. Good job drawing the feet. I personally have a hard time drawing feet. Great job on that. I also like this underlighting that you did. Also placing the highlight in the goggles. That's something that I find kind of difficult whenever I'm drawing Invincible, because if it's not in the right place, it just kind of throws off the entire thing. So overall, great piece, amazing pose, love the lighting, great feet drawing.
Sensational.
Definitely check out Hungry Moss on Instagram. She does animations as well as illustration, so check out both of those. They're all really great. And thank you again for being a part of the project. I wonder who did this one. So this is actually my piece of the Flaxen or Thaxen. I don't remember. I had to
Sensational.
fill in for an artist that dropped out. Thank you for that. So that was unfortunate, but those kind of things happen, and so it's no hard feelings. Thank you for that. I don't know who this artist thinks he is, but those hands could have been drawn better. I'm not gonna talk about my own drawing too much. It just feels nightmares. It's good, I think. Moving on. So the next artist we have is Rocco, or The Unusual Artist is his handle on Instagram. This particular face might give me nightmares. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Hardest choices require the strongest wills and all that. No, but I like what you did with the drawing. I like how you rendered the hair. The expression is hilarious. Thank you for that. And the rendering is good. Definitely check out Rocco on Instagram. He does a lot of like larger pieces as well, traditionally. Okay, the next artist we have is Gavin, or Scorpion Orc. I've actually already worked with Gavin on my last collab, on the Spider-Verse one. Every piece he makes is just amazing. Love what you did with the pose. The anatomy is so solid. How you've treated the lighting. I really appreciate how you did that. The hair is rendered super well. And I love this crazy expression on his face. Just love everything you've done with it. But this is kind of expected. Thank you again for saving me on this project too, because we had people drop out. Thank you for that. And you came in and you saved the day with another amazing drawing. So the next artist we have is All-Star Jack. He drew the Sinister Invincible. The shapes are just super clear. Everything reads super clearly. The way you've drawn the veins on the arms, rendering on the hair is fantastic, and the shapes are just chosen very well. Love the highlights in the goggles. And this pose is just really well done. I mean, from top to bottom. I gave you the character because I didn't want to draw the cape. Amazing cape drawing, which I can't do. So thank you for that. Check out All Star Jack on Instagram. He's got some amazing work, more of this amazing rendering and style. So definitely go check him out. So the next artist we have is Mark Lou, or Mark Lau. I'm gonna have to double check that. She's also the sister of Hungry Moss. She drew I call him Hoodvincible. He's definitely a standout in the show. But I really like the way that this is rendered. If you look at her other work, you'll notice this like very smooth rendering that I really like. All the forms are very clear. It's a lot of like soft edges. Everything's still defined really well, and the shapes are chosen very carefully. There's a lot of implied detail, but in the best way possible. Love the like colors in the goggles here. The reflection of the blue from the mask into the yellow goggles, giving us this little like green. I think it makes it stand out that much more. Great piece. You also drew the feet really well. And that's how I know you guys are sisters. But just overall, 10 out of 10. Nothing bad to say about this. Thanks to both of you for being a part of the project. I really appreciate it. And I hope we can do something again really soon. So the next artist we have is Path Integrated. This is an artist that I have been following for a little bit now. Big fan of how you interpreted the pose. A lot more personality, a lot more energy to it. I wanted to see what other people would come up with. I love the rendering. I love the texturing on the shadows, implied forms on the mask here, so you can see where the nose is popping out of the mask and the mouth a little bit. And I love the way you did the subtle gradient on the figure, so towards the bottom it gets more orange. Make the figure sort of blend in with the environment even better. Keep up the great work. Definitely check out Path Integrated on Instagram. He's doing some Inktober stuff right now, so check that out. So the next artist we have is Leon. I saw Leon's work on Twitter, and I was like, I gotta get this guy on the collab. I just really love the details that you have here. His hands are like amazingly drawn. The anatomy is just really solid. On the hair itself, just a really, really nice shape to it. Great job. Again, thank you for being a part of the project. I really appreciate it. You made an amazing piece. Next artist we have is Nico G Arts, or Nico. He drew the other Viltrumite Invincible. I really like this one because not only does it feel like it's in the Invincible style, but it still feels unique to him. One of the things that kind of stands out to me is the line art being red. I think that's just a really nice touch and it makes it kind of stand out. And also like the anatomy that you have here. It's obviously Mark, but he feels a lot more bulky. This guy was raised by Viltrumites, and also the sort of ambient lighting that you've done here is very subtle, but I like it. Make sure to check out Nico on Instagram. He's got a lot of great drawings on there, and I really dig his style. Next, we have Shannon, or Shanapy. Really like what you've done here with these brush stroke textures that you've got going on. Just breathes more life into the piece. A lot of the brush strokes are going in the direction of the form. Just really good to do. It's not entirely necessary all the time, but I think that it just adds more form and it looks better when people do that. Thank you for keeping in the heart hands. I think it's a really nice touch. I also just like that his expression is kind of bothered. I also like the foreshortening on the feet here. It adds a lot of energy to the piece. Definitely follow Shannon on Instagram. Check out her other work. A lot of amazing stuff. And thank you again for being a part of the project. Next artist we have up is James Sullivan, or Sketching the Beast. A great comic book work, a lot of different characters, similar to Shannon's piece. Foreshortening on the feet just adds a lot of energy to the pose. The rendering is just very solid, and the balance between the harsh, sharp shadows and the softer shadows is really nice. Really like the rendering on the arms here. This like very slight, subtle smirk. It's just done really well. Overall, great job, and I'm glad that I was able to get you on the project. It was definitely worth it. Go follow James on his Instagram and check out all of his amazing work. Really cool drawings of a lot of different characters. So next artist up is Sir Dimpleton, another artist I met at Comic-Con. Just had a really, really cool style. Very creative, very funny, very comedic. Just want to say, I really, really, really like how you were able to use shapes to define all of the forms. The hair, this whole thing feels very sculpted. I also like how you sort of push this leg further back. There are very few lines overall in this piece. Not only just a really cool stylistic choice, but also a testament to your skills that you were able to define everything so well with just shapes alone. Fantastic job. Really like the way this looks. Definitely check out more of Sir Dimpleton's work on Instagram because he's got a lot of great stuff like this and really vibrant and cool looking artwork on his Instagrams. Alright, so next up we have Rowdy Ramen. Him and his friend, which is the next artist after this, met them both at Comic-Con as well. I saw their style and immediately knew that I wanted to get them on some kind of project. A few things I want to point out about this is, one, the line work is colored. When you get up here to the face, line work is actually black. It creates contrast because it's darkest here compared to the rest of the figure. Very, very, very smart choice, and I really appreciate that. I also like the blue highlights on the goggles. I think those just give it a real nice pop. This arm back here is sort of pushed into the background. This looks really cool. Definitely check out Rowdy Ramen on Instagram. He's got a lot of great work. Very fun style to see. Next up, we have Robablo. Him and Rowdy Ramen are kind of an artist duo. Our art styles complement each other really, really well. I love what you've done with the pose, the way his head is tilted back and he looks very serious here. Details of like all the veins and scars on his face. The shapes are very interesting, but this vein in particular sort of forms like an H shape, and I don't know if that was intentional, but it just looks really cool to me. Love the stylized anatomy. Love the way the hands look. I think they're really cool and really dynamic. And I just like the way you've treated all the shading. I think it's very carefully designed. And you guys will see in the final image just how Robablo's work and Rowdy Ramen's work complement each other. So the last artist we have is Brighton Draws. Brighton is a fantastic artist and animator as well. He has his own animated series on YouTube. The pilot is up. Not going to give away any spoilers, so definitely check it out for yourself. But I believe he's working on episode 2 of Me and My Genie right now. Brighton, I love what you've done. Stylization here. This is no surprise to him, but his art style is amazing. I like what you did with the line work. It's not just pure black. Got a hint of red in there. I think it's just a really nice stylistic touch. Love the expression on his face. Love that little tooth shape. Love the highlights in the goggles and the fact that they are the brightest highlights Definitely just creates that contrast, and it directs your eyes to the eyes. It's perfect. Love the shapes that you've chosen. Love the hair shape. This like swooping hair shape is just, it's perfect. Really well done. Yeah, just overall, it's perfect. Great piece, great style, which is it's perfect. Thank you again for being a part of the project, and I hope that we can work on something together really soon. So here is the final image. This was a labor of love. It was a 4-month project, which I did not expect, but it was definitely worth it. The time spent was definitely worth it. I'm super grateful to all of the artists for participating in this project. I'm just really, really happy with the results. Rowdy Ramen and Robablo's piece, like, I think it just works together so well. Again, Sir Dimpleton, just the way you were able to stylize those shapes and everything, I just really appreciate this style in particular. Sinister Mark just looks perfect. Mohawk Mark, Black Lotus, he just did a fantastic job. And that expression, again, is just nightmare fuel. Yeah. Hungry Moss, like I said, that sort of orangey red tint to the character just makes him stand out and makes him feel like he does come from his own universe. And then Marklo, again, from far away and both up close, it just looks really, really well done. Jack, I just, again, love how, like, unbothered this long-haired Invincible looks. Shannon, again, appreciate the heart hands on this Invincible in particular. Path integrated, this expression is just fantastic. I love the contrast between James's piece here and Brighton's piece, and just kind of exaggerates again the point I was making about each character looking like they come from a different universe. Just overall, great job. Again, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of the artists. I really appreciate you guys participating in the project. And I think we came together to make a very, very beautiful piece. If you are an artist and you're watching this and you want to be a part of the next collab, do not hesitate to leave a comment down below or hit me up on Instagram. I'm always looking for more artists, and I definitely want to do more of these in the future. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the artwork. I definitely did. If you want to stay up to date on the next collabs or any other big projects I'm working on, follow me on Instagram. I'm always posting updates on there. Other than that, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.